hopefully I'll have the answer. And what's your question? Oh, there you are. What is this thing that I'm stomping on? That's really good. That's a great question. Well, what happens with a lot of the old recordings, and a lot of the blues guys would have they would be on a front porch. They'd have a wood floor. So, you know, it would be in a shack or a club, and you got the wood floor. So, unfortunately, here this is like a carpeted floor. So this kind of gives it pretends like it's like I bring a whole little wood house into the room to give you that little clicking, the clicking sound. Some people like it. Some people, I played some clubs and they're like, "Can you get that guy to stop slapping that thing?" So, but that's what that's all about. Did that answer it okay, or? Good. Any more questions? Go ahead, young man.
Or is it still pretty much when they started blues, or they still do it? Is it all sort of pretty much the rhythm or the beat of it, for a certain extent?
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that. That's a good question. Is it the rhythm or the beat? Well, the blues, the rhythm has a lot to do with it. You've got like a West Coast style. We're gonna go over that really fast here. What I've been doing so far has been what is like a Mississippi North hill country stomp. Most of the stuff that I'm doing right now is all of the rhythms that I've been doing. But now if you take, so as we get out of the Delta, we get out of the 30s, we start going in the 40s, a lot of the jazz guys start using the blues idiom, the 3 chords or sometimes 4 chords and 2. They start doing like a swingy type thing, where you've got like the jump style. You've got Roy Brown, you got Big Joe Williams, you have, this is right before the bebop era, and so you got stuff like this here, the boogie. That's a different kind of beat with the blues. I mean, pretty much I was playing a lot of the stuff that you heard me before, but not the, So that's a beat. You also got like what's known as a funk beat to the blues. You can use the blues in, you can do like here, like. get real hip. Lord, I wanna get funky now. I wanna get real hip. So, see, does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different rhythms, but it kind of, it was interesting in the South, you know, you've got, so let's go over to like the North Carolina Piedmont, like I was just in Greenville. A lot of the blues people, they, ooh, that's really attacking it hard today. They had like what's known as the Piedmont style. Furry Lewis, come on, Steve. Who else? Oh, big. Yeah, I'll show you here. Brownie McGee was a great guy. Elizabeth Cotton. So Reverend Gary Davis. So a lot of them were because they were really influenced a lot by a lot of the Appalachian music, you know. So the the beat of like the North Carolina. So pretty much with the blues, you had your Mississippi, you had your Texas style. We don't really have enough time to go through everything because there's just so much in 1 hour to go over. Any more questions? All right. Question.
Where the cigar box?
You want to hear more of the cigar box?
With the cigar box, guitars literally made out of cigar box.
Yeah, here, you can pass this around. This is a cigar box. I mean, this is more, here, you take it. This is more modern now, but yeah, for some of the latecomers, I'll play this again for people too. You can show that to a lot of the people. They didn't have really nice guitars back in Mississippi, Louisiana, and the South. So everybody would play. They take a cigar box, stick some strings on it, and that's how they would play the instruments. I laugh at myself. Don't want no skinny woman. Want one fat, fine, and pleasing around. Here I sit, Sarasota Library. Yeah, I got this old guitar in my hand. Looking for that woman. I wanna be a regular man. Long Stars, Cuba Lake. But I'm a poor boy, poor long way from home. Yeah, I'm a poor boy, long, long way from home. I'm just a poor boy, long, long way from home. Ain't got nobody to carry my business on. Ain't got nobody to carry my business on. Right. So yeah, that's fingerstyle blues. I'll play some of the cigar box here for some of the you just joining us here. Where am I at? You can find so much online. I mean, it's so funny. But when I was a kid, it was, all we had were records, and no, we'd have to. There was no like CDs or I mean, we'd have to pick up the needle and then go back and forth and just Nowadays, you got instructional videos. You can see anything you want online. Oh, this thing doesn't have one. We got to make. Where am I at here? But it's cool music, I mean, I really enjoy playing music. Let's see if we can come up with this thing. Great job. Just got this today in the mail.
Steve,
Yeah.
how do you tune that guitar?
Well, I tuned this up to A. This is the first time I played it. This guy, David, just gave me this guitar. He sent it to me. It's really a nice instrument. And so I tuned it to A. I mean, you can tune these things to, this is A, E, A. I mean, you can tune it to G, D, G. It's always the 1, the 5, and then back to the 1. And
You never tuned like a 135?
you can do it that way too. You can do a 135 and have there's so many different tunings. If you go on YouTube, you'll see so many. There's so many different tunings, and it's kind of neat. You know, it takes a while for me to get the instrument. You know, like I know that one that we passed around, the Partagas one, that one works really good in E. You know, and that's another really interesting thing that I learned from Honey Boy Edwards with the Great Blues guys, because I told him, you know, a lot of the old blues recordings when you hit the record, you know. And I'd sit there and try to figure out why did Charlie Patton tune to A flat a lot of the time? Why did Son House, you know, record those keys? Because what had happened was, they didn't have like amplifiers like this. A lot of the times in the South, you know, you had the resonator guitars, and they would tune the guitar so to the loudest, so it would project the loudest. So remember, a lot of these guys, they made their money by playing in the streets for tips, and they didn't have, you know, they didn't have amplifiers. Leadbelly, you know, Leadbelly had that big 12-string Stella, and he had the Stella guitar that he had was incredibly loud, and he could get up there and get, you know, on a Saturday night, everybody to dance. They didn't have amps, so he and he didn't have this thing either. I mean, he'd be a big guy just smashing that, and you know, getting everybody going. But the point I'm trying to make is that the instrument, they would tune it, each individual guy would tune it so it was sounded the loudest. And there's the same thing with cigar box guitar. I mean, it sounded pretty good in open A. I might, you know, bring it down to G, or I might even try to bring it up to B. So anyway, you can tune it however you want. The great thing about cigar box guitars is that each one that I own, you know, gives me a new sense of writing songs. There's a few new riffs. I'm just starting to learn this instrument, and then, you know, I get it helps inspire me to write stuff and get different sounds. The big problem I have is that I've got so many tunings and, you know, other type that in my head, mathematically, I have to keep remembering what I'm doing. That's why it's good to, you know, not do drugs and drink, you know, just have a clear head about it and get the enthusiasm about, you know, because you forget, you know, it's just, there's a lot of things that, just like Monday nights at the Blue Rooster, I'm playing jazz, and then the next night, you know, I got to do a blues gig. You know what I'm saying? You got to go into the equations of the stuff. So anyway,
Stay focused.
all right. Let's go back to a little bit of Chicago blues and end our big blues history. Well, as you can see, there's a lot going on with the blues. You know, it's an amazing form of music, and it is the backbone of everything in the United States. That's why I'm going up to Clarksdale, Mississippi, September 23rd to do a cigar box festival with Super Chicken, Ben Prestige, and so many people go to Clarksdale because they come from all over the world. They come from Russia, China. Everybody comes to America because the great thing we got in America is the culture of music, of blues and jazz. So it's very interesting. It's a proud thing for the African American history that what you know, slaves from Africa came over and built an incredible empire of music and intellectual, you know, Miles Davis, Coltrane, you know, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Freddie King. I mean, it's a great thing in America, you know. And it's so funny on how in Europe and Japan, everybody respects music so much more there, the jazz and blues. That's why a lot of the blues guys that I know in the 70s, Luther Allison and Champion Jack Dupree, Memphis Slim, they went over, Louisiana Red, one of my good buddies, he lived in Germany, he worked all the time, he gets so much more respect, you know, over there than a lot of the, you know, American, you know, attitude. And there was a lot of racism, you know, in you know, everybody was going after all Bobby Darin and all the, they weren't really paying attention to the African Americans that were coming out of Memphis. I mean, they're the ones that wrote the music that Elvis and all those guys stole. The great thing always is when the Beatles came over. I like it. One of the first questions was when they came to JFK Airport. They asked the Beatles, so what do you want to do when you get here? They go, well, we want to go see Muddy Waters and Bo Diddley. And the guy says, who are they? He goes, you don't even know your own American treasures, do you? And it's true. I mean, when Little Richard would go how many people know who Little Richard is? I mean, man, Little Richard, when he went to England, I mean, everybody, he was just like, that's what inspired the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. They go to see guys like that. And I found that too, like when my first time in England was in 1989, I played with Frank Frost and Sam Carr out of Clarksdale. I went over there, and it was amazing. You got this Queen Victoria Hall with 15,000 people all going crazy. Where over here you get a gig for $600 if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's blues is just really cool. But let's get into Chicago blues really fast, because that's what my whole thing growing up. Playing in the clubs around Chicago, the West Side, and the South Side. So I'm gonna do this. This is typical of like West Side Chicago blues. Has anybody here been to Chicago? Well, Chicago's just incredible. So everybody went from Mississippi to Memphis. Then a lot of people went from Memphis to Chicago because of the jobs, the steel mills. A lot of people went to Detroit because of the car industry. A lot of the guys, John Lee Hooker, Eddie Burns, all these guys went up to Detroit. That's how the whole, Motown, Berry Gordy, the whole sound music evolved out of that. Pittsburgh. So anyway, let's just get into like a West Side Chicago shuffle. The kid's gone about the rhythms, but it is a good question. So this is a typical Chicago West Side beat.
Come on, pretty baby, now. Don't you wanna go? Come on, hey. Baby, now don't you wanna go back to the land I love? baby, the way it's gonna be. Your head right up, no down to the window city. Crying, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? I'm pretty baby, back to my land,
Sweet home Chicago.
honey. Woo! And that's the blues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve Arvey. I want to thank you so much for coming down today. If you have any questions or want to know, yes,
Why are you so famous?
why am I so famous? Wow, that's the best question I think I ever had.
Well, first of all, I'm not really that famous.
I think Steve Harvey, my buddy from, you know, that's got the TV show, and he's a little bit more famous than Steve Harvey, even though Steve Harvey and I both know each other. It's kind of funny. But no, I'm not that famous, you know. The number one thing I can tell you is that the number one thing is you play for God. Okay, that's my higher power, and you know, and then I play for myself, and I just enjoy playing guitar, and I enjoy doing this, so this is what I like to do, and you know, I just travel around a lot, and I just enjoy it, but I'm not that famous. I just, you know, and I like my life the way it is. I don't want to be, so I can never go out and enjoy stuff, and we got a great scene, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, God bless you guys.
One more question.
Sure, go.
What would that be considered if it's acoustic, but you're connecting it to an
Well, yeah, I'm cheating a lot here. I mean, that, you know, but, you know, this is a looper. You know, there's a lot of stuff here that the guys didn't have, you know, but in order for me to do this presentation today, yeah, no, this is a looper. So all this does is, what happened? It's not working. That's weird.
Thank you very much. Enjoy.
You're welcome. It's kind of strange. How come it's not? Shouldn't be playing through there.
I can tell you spent a lot of time.
1, 2. But anyway, that kind of like, it loops the beat for me to, you know.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, have a good one.
You too. Thank you so much for coming down, and
Saw you in Bradenton last year.